that. And so if I am so focused on staying on the line, I can't fulfill my assignment. But my God is big enough to handle my fault, my screw-ups, my mess-ups, because he's already prepared for what I might do. He knows what I'm going to do before I do it, and he already made preparation for me before I get there. What follows darkness is light. That darkness is the indicator that light is getting ready to shine. So there it is in Genesis, when darkness was upon the face of the deep, and God in the spirit form moved upon the face of the waters, and then God said, let there be. Because darkness precedes the light. Are you understanding what I'm saying? But he needs the darkness there so that God can move upon the face of the deep, so that the shift can take place. Listen, look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor that shift take place in the darkness. Oh God, y'all didn't hear what I just said. Everybody's not going to see the shift that's happening. They see the chaos, but they don't see the shift. They see all the craziness going on in your life, but they don't understand that underneath the darkness, God is moving in secret. He's moving in quiet. He's moving in the hidden places. He's moving in the cracks and the corners and the crevices. He's moving in places that you cannot see. And when the light comes, they're going to see a new order. timing. And so the universe then has no choice. First attribute of the secret place. The secret place is a place of revelation. It makes you free because it awakens you and makes you consciously aware that everything that you thought was holding you is an illusion. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Emerge Movement, our empowerment session. You are tuned in to the most powerful place on the planet because this is the place where we'll empower you with all the tools that you need as you're completing your journey towards spiritual wholeness. I'm your host, Isaac J. Miles Sr., and I am so glad that you've decided to join us this morning. This morning, we are going to conclude our prophetic forecast for 2024. So you have tuned in at the right time in the right place to receive instruction, insight, revelation that will prepare you for this year that we have already entered into, and everything that you can look forward to and how you can best create and curate the life that you desire, not only in 2024, but moving forward throughout the rest of your life. Now, for whatever reason, let me go ahead and do a little housekeeping here. There's a technical difficulty going on with the platform. I'm not exactly sure what's causing it. I don't know, but your comments not showing up unless you are watching via YouTube or you are watching the Emerge Facebook page. For those of you who are watching on my personal page, there are two of them, my normal personal page and then the backup page. I cannot see your comments for whatever the reason is. I don't know why they're not coming up today. So if you have comments, questions, input, which I would hope that you have, I need you to go to either the Emerge YouTube page or the Emerge Facebook page and watch on there, because that's the only way I'm going to be able to see your comments. So if you want to take a moment and switch over and jump to one of those two pages, then you can do that right now, because that's the only way that I'm going to be able to see your comments live as they come through. Now, I'll be able to read the comments later on once I go off the air on all the pages. But in order for me to be able to see your comments live while I'm on the air, then I'm going to need you to watch on either the YouTube page or the Emerge Facebook page, and then that way I'll be able to see your comments and engage with you back and forth. I'm not exactly sure why that's happening today, and I didn't have time to try and figure it out, so I said I'll just make you aware of that, and those of you who want to contribute by way of conversation, by way of comment, then please go over to the Emerge Facebook page or the Emerge YouTube channel and watch from there. And that way you'll be able to comment, and I'll be able to get your comments as they come through. Okay? All right, I got a lot of ground to cover today, and I don't have a whole lot of time, so I want to try and get into the 2024 prophetic forecast. We've been doing this for the last 3 broadcasts now, so actually the last 4. Is it the last 4? I think it's the last 4. Yeah. The last 4. So you can go back and get all of the other things if you missed it. The videos are still up on YouTube. They're also up on Facebook as well. So you can go back and listen to those on the replay and get all of the earlier prophetic words that were given and instruction, and as well as direction
And today I'm going to conclude with the prophetic forecast. I knew when I started out that there was no way that I was going to get it all into one broadcast. And so I told you early on that it would probably be broken up. I didn't think it would be four, but into four different broadcasts. And so today we're going to offer the conclusion. I will review a couple of things that I've already said, just by way of review. I'm not going to really go into detail concerning them, and then go forward in what we will discuss this morning, what I'm going to share with you this morning. I know you saw the information come up about partnership. I am so excited about our new partner portal and everything that's happening there already and that will be happening there. We're going to have our very first official partner gathering this evening at 8:30 p.m. I am so excited because that's the place where I can be free and really share more in-depth information, in-depth teaching. I'm going to be sharing prophetically, apostolically with those who are a part of the prophetic gathering, those who are part of our partnership, as well as all of the other benefits that are going to be available for those who are partners. You saw earlier as we were coming on some of the benefits that come from partnership. You really, really want to become a partner with the Emerge movement. And if you really want to partake, you want to be a partner, you want to be a supporter of this platform, then you can see written in the description above everything that you need to do. You simply send me the email and I'll send you back the partner packet with all of the information as well as the partner agreement. Once you sign that agreement, then you are in, and I'm telling you, it's going to be magnificent. Now, I know everybody's not going to be a partner. Everybody's not ready for the level of teaching and the impartation that will take place at that level. Some of the things that I will discuss in the partner portal that I will not discuss on this public platform because everybody's not ready. That's just a reality. Everybody's not ready for it. Everybody can't comprehend or digest it. They are too narrow-minded, church-brained. I got that from Larry Reed. Church-brained and religious-minded, that they can't really grasp some of those concepts. And so it's for those who are more advanced and for those who are hungry and those who are ready to expand your consciousness, to increasing your spirituality, to level up, if you will, and that are ready to do some things in this coming year and the years moving forward that will revolutionize your life. I'm going to be sharing some things with the partners with a concentration, a laser focus on helping every single partner arrive at a place of financial stability and prosperity and wealth. Let me say that again. I am going to share some things with the partners that will help every partner arrive at a place of financial stability, financial prosperity, and financial wealth. And we're going to laser focus on those things repeatedly throughout the year with the partners, because by the end of the year, I want every single partner that is a part of the Emerge movement to never have another financial worry, concern, fear, or anxiety again. And if you follow the instructions that I give you, if you do what I tell you to do, I can guarantee that you absolutely will not. It will work if you work it. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Oh, I'm so excited about the partners meeting and the partners portal. I am so excited about sharing with you guys. There is so much more that I have been itching to say and do that I have not really been at liberty to do on a public platform. And so I am excited to be able to share it with you. Those of you who have already partnered, I hope you are as excited as I am, that you can see we're off to a great start with some of the information that's already in there. But tonight when we gather together, it's going to be absolutely off the chain phenomenal. And so I am so looking forward to meeting you there. Again, if you'd like to become a partner, the information is right there in the description as to how you go about it. All you have to do is request the information and we will send it out to you, and you follow the instructions and you can join us in the partner portal. All right, so 2024 Prophetic Forecast. This is the year of extraordinary moments. This is a year of extraordinary moments. As I've said to you in an earlier broadcast, there is an emerging, gathering energy, force, spirit, anointing that's happening in the atmosphere, in the kingdom of God, that is gathering with intensity, that is in anticipation of the dramatic shift that the world is encountering and experiencing right now. There is a dramatic shift. Everything in the universe is aligning itself. Everything in the universe, every planet within the solar system, the sun, along with the earth, is aligning itself for this paradigm shift that is taking place. It will affect every part of humanity. Okay, as I've said to you before, those of you who've been listening know that we have just a few years ago, back beginning in 2020, began to exit out of the Piscean age and enter into the age of Aquarius. There is this overlapping period that has lasted from 2020 and will run throughout 2024. This overlapping period as we enter into the full measure of the age of Aquarius. The age of Aquarius, this Aquarian age, is an age of information and technology, and it signals a dramatic global shift in the paradigm, in the mode of operation within the earth, a shift in society, and all of the systems that make up society are going through a dramatic shifting in how they function, operate, how they exist in this three-dimensional plane that we call Earth. God is setting the stage for a new thing. Behold, I do a new thing. Shall you not know it? In other words, shall you not recognize what God is doing? And those who are paying attention, who are intuitive, who are insightful, who are prayerful, who spend time in meditation, those who are watching and listening are recognizing the signs all around you. You are recognizing this global shifting that is taking place. All of the signs that are happening in the earth, as well as those that are happening in the space around the earth with the stars and the planets and in the galaxy. You can feel and sense the shift in energy. Your energy is intensifying and increasing. You can feel almost like a tingle inside of you, and this gnawing anticipation deep down in your gut that's just beginning to reverberate throughout your entire being. You can feel it like a tingle, this anxious anticipation, because your soul knows what your mind has yet to comprehend. Your soul knows, it is completely aware, and you intuitively are getting those signals and signs. What your mind, your conscious mind, has yet to fully apprehend and comprehend. And that is the purpose for these past broadcasts, and the one today is to give you a prophetic forecast insight, an alert and explanation to the anticipation that you are feeling, that intensity of spirit, of anointing, of energy, of force that's happening inside of you as you feel the excitement building inside of you. And it's like, I know something is happening. I know something has changed. I know that there is something ahead of me that I can feel it getting ready to break, that's about to open up for me, but I cannot put my finger on it. Well, that's what these prophetic forecasts have been about. And again, I encourage those of you who have missed the former broadcast to go back and watch all of the prophetic forecasts, because some of what I say today might seem a little bit strange or foreign to you, because you can't link it to what has already been said. Some of you will catch it because some of you are more advanced in study, and you've been getting some of the same revelation that I have been getting. God speaking with one voice, globally speaking with one voice. And so those who are gifted prophetically, psychically, clairvoyantly, have been hearing and sensing this shifting, this changing that is taking place, that we are in the midst of and about to now, the earth being completely set in the age of Aquarius, this technological information age, this time of great awakening and prosperity and increase, a time where your borders and territories are expanded, that you have the opportunity to experience extraordinary things because of extraordinary moments and opportunities and encounters that are coming into your life. I want to encourage those of you who are watching me this morning to not take it lightly, to be very keenly, consciously aware of what's happening in your surroundings, paying attention to the synchronicities that occur consistently within your life, especially, as I told you, around the numbers 8, 5, 6, 3, and 9. 8, 5, 6, 3, and 9. That energy around the number 8 has been so prevalent here at the very beginning of the year, because 8 represents, 8 represents infinite or infinity. You turn it on its side, it is infinity. You turn it on its side, it is also like a pair of eyes, so it's sight. You tie that together, it has to do with an increased vision and sight that is infinite in its parameters. It also signifies dramatic shift and increase. It is a powerful energy that is at work right now, and I won't go too much into it. I share in detail about the power of 8 in the partner portal, and so those of you who are partners, you already saw that information that's there for you. If you want to know more about that, you should become a partner. Okay, so that energy is already at work. I want you to pay close attention to what's happening around you, those synchronicities that continue to occur, specifically around those numbers that I showed you. Also pay attention to synchronicities of individuals that continuously come into your space, that you are being drawn into their space. No encounter, listen to me, no encounter is by accident or coincidence. There is purpose in that encounter, and the purpose now is greater than it has been before. That every single encounter that you are having now has really intentional purpose that is going to facilitate and support the extraordinary moments and opportunities that are going to be made available for you in this year. This is the year of extraordinary moments, extraordinary opportunities, extraordinary encounters. This is the year that if you pay attention, if you are mindful of it, then you will have the chance to completely revolutionize your life. You will go through a revolutionary evolution. Ooh, that's good. You will go through a revolutionary evolution in your life. Now, I won't pretend to you that it will all just be gravy trains with biscuit wheels and strawberry ice cream and everything is just going to flow smoothly, because with this kind of evolution comes the challenge. But there are the challenges that are necessary for you to unlock the greater parts of your divine self. They are challenges that are designed. They are laced with lessons that are designed to unlock. Are you hearing me? Okay, to unlock the greater part of your divine self, to open your divinity and expand your conscious understanding, insight, revelation, and knowledge, because you need that knowledge in order to be able to fulfill the desires and the purposes of your life moving forward. And so for every time that you are going through that transformation where you are evolving, it requires you to have to look into some areas that maybe you have suppressed, or that you've been unconscious of, or that you have thought that you had dealt with, and yet the residue of it still remains. It means that you have to be able to look at it, to face it, to resolve it, to deal with it. And sometimes that's in that challenging circumstance, it's painful. Sometimes it is a struggle. It is exhausting, both mentally and physically, but it is absolutely necessary, and it will pay off if you will just press in. You can't keep putting it off. If you want to take this next step, if you want to enjoy all the benefits that are available for 2024, you can't keep putting it off. You can't keep ignoring and saying, yeah, I know that this, and yeah, I know I need to deal with this, and yeah, I know this is an issue for me, and I'm going to deal with it. I'm kind of going through the process. I'm thinking about it. I'm getting ready to. You can't keep doing that. Procrastinating, ignoring, putting it off. You have now got to face your true self. You've got to deal with your stuff, and you got to deal with it head on, with courage and fervor and with the hope, because you know on the other side of the pain is purpose. Oh goodness, on the other side of the pain is purpose. And so you've got to go ahead and deal with those things. And so, yes, there is this is a year of extraordinary moments and opportunities, but for you to be of the conscious mind to be able to take advantage of all of the moments, encounters, and opportunities that will be presented to you throughout this coming year, you've got to deal with your underlying stuff. Somebody put in the comments, you got to deal with your stuff. No, don't say you got to. Say, I'm going to deal with my stuff. Put that in the comments. I am going to deal with my stuff. I am going to deal with my stuff. No more procrastination. No more putting it off. No more ignoring it or pretending that it's not there. No more. No more. I am going to deal with my stuff because I want every opportunity that will be available to me. I want the capacity to take full advantage of them because I am looking for my revolutionary evolution. Okay? I'm going to deal with my stuff, no matter how painful, no matter how difficult, no matter how challenging. It's imperative that you do so. It is imperative that you do so. And listen, let me tell you, okay, I feel the need to say this because I know I have a lot of people who watch me, who tune in. I got a lot of Nicodemuses who turn on the speaker to listen while not clicking on the actual broadcast because they don't want anyone to know that they're actually watching, but you watch kind of in the shadows and you are very steeped in the church world. And so I feel the need to say this to you. You can't shout this out. You can't dance it out. You can't pray in tongues it out. Nobody's going to be able to lay hands on you and it disappears. I don't care how you get slain in the spirit, fall out on the floor, roll and kick and spit bubbles and jump over pews. It doesn't matter how much they prophesy over you. These are things that are within your soul that you have to deal with, and you got to face them head on. People praying for you might help. It may give you some relief, but it will not give you the liberty or the freedom that you really need because you have not dealt with these issues. So all dancing, shouting, and speaking in tongues, prophesying, laying hands, putting a cape on you, a cloak on you, a blessed towel, a blessed this, that, and the other, none of that is going to work. It doesn't work. You have to do the work. Listen to me. You have to take personal responsibility and do the work necessary in order for you to make this shift. Now, please understand this also. And again, I feel the urgency to say this to those of you that are watching me. Okay? Specifically those of you who are of the religious ilk, like you may be Christian or Muslim or Buddhist or Hindu. You cannot put this new wine into old bottles. You cannot put this new understanding, information, insight, revelation that is coming and is available to you, that wants to emerge within you, into the old mindset supported by old systems. Those old religious systems cannot contain, listen to me, cannot contain the new wine, this revelation, insight, understanding that is emerging within you now. Ask questions, get answers, and then question the answers. Ask questions, get answers, and then question the answers. You cannot be intimidated by the rules, regulations, and the parameters of your religious belief. You have to be willing to ask the hard questions, seek out the answers, and then even then question the answers as you continue to evolve and grow. You cannot put this new wine. Hey, God, I feel that so deeply. The urgency of it. You cannot put this new wine. You cannot mix and match this with an old bottle, an old container. You have to be transformed, metamorphized, taken from one state of existence to another, one state of being to another by the renewing, the anakinosis, the shifting, the changing, evolving of your mind. Okay? You are not renewed, you are not transformed, rather, by the preaching, by the shouting, by the tongues, by the laying on of hands. You are transformed by the anakinosis, by the renewing of your mind. And you have to open your mind to those new concepts, ideas, revelation, insights that are trying to emerge within you. Because see, you already know everything that you need to know. You just don't know that you know it. You are loaded and coded within your DNA all the information of the world in the universe is loaded and coded within your DNA. You're just not consciously aware of what you already know. Teacher's responsibility, we're really not teaching in the sense of giving you information that you don't know. We are giving you information that you are not consciously aware of. You don't know that you know it, but it's already inside you. How do we know? Because you are the divine expression of God in the earth. You are God in three-dimensional form. And there is nothing that God does not know. So there is nothing that you do not know. You are just not consciously, that's your humanity, are consciously aware of what you know. But there is that pull, that tug, rather, pulling, that intuitive knowing inside of you, that struggle where what you consciously know, what you're consciously aware of is feeling something pressing up against it, saying, okay, I know what I've been told, I know what I've been taught, I know what I see with my two eyes, but deep inside me, I can sense that there's something greater, something more, something deeper than what I've heard, what I've been told, what I'm seeing. That is that all-knowingness pushing up against what you are consciously aware of, so that it is able to pierce that darkness with the light of illuminating word, revelation, insight, and understanding, to flood your conscious mind with a knowing that you've always had and not been aware of. That's why you need a good teacher, a good mentor, a good leader, a good voice in your life, not necessarily to tell you what you don't know, but to make you consciously aware of what you've always known, to remind you. To remind you, to help you to reconstruct and reconfigure your mind so you can be transformed by the renewing of your mind. It's necessary. Okay? This global shifting that is taking place, this gathering of energy, force, power, spirit, anointing, use whatever term makes you comfortable, all synonymous, is going to have an effect and is having an effect on all of the systems of the world. The 7 mountains of influence. Now, it is intensified now, and I know I'm going to explain those 7 mountains in a moment. It is intensified in this moment because now Pluto has moved fully into the house of Aquarius, and Pluto represents life and death. It is like a dying and a rebirth. It always brings about these drastic shifts, and that's why it moves into this particular space very sparingly, and when it does, it remains for long periods of time. I think this time, as Pluto has moved into Aquarius, it's going to remain there for the next 40 years, an entire generation. That tells you about the power of this shifting that's getting ready, or that is rather taking place in the earth. It's going to remain there for a complete generation. And so it intensifies it, causing all of the systems of the global planet to shift. Every one of the 7 mountains of influence are being shifted and changed as a result of this gathering force or anointing or energy or spirit that is taking place. Now, what do I mean? What are these 7 mountains of influence? They are business and economics. Now, please don't think America. Think global, okay? Even though it affects America as well. America is not excluded, but it is not exclusive either. Okay? God is not an American. God is not an American. God is not no matter what the evangelicals may try and tell you, that, that America has this super great, highly elevated place in the mind of God. It doesn't. Excuse me. God is not an American. Okay? So when I talk about these mountains of influence, I am talking about globally. Business and economics, entertainment, religion, because whether you like it or not, religion is a very influential force in the earth, and religions at their core, at their origins, were designed with a good purpose in mind, because they were designed to give people a means or a way to reconnect with their own divinity. It is only after men, with their own greed and need for control and manipulation, decided to turn them into the mess that they are today. Okay? Business and economics, entertainment, religion, media, government, think globally, government, family and society, the global society, and finally, education. These are those 7 mountains of influence that help to move society from one place to another. And this shift is going to drastically affect every one of these 7 mountains. I'm going to tell you how in just a few moments here. First, with business and economics. Now, I gave you some prophetic insight about the economy here in the United States in an earlier broadcast. But I want to talk to you in general now about the global shifting in the economy, where economics and business, where trade unions, global markets, investments are going. There is going to be a dramatic shift in the way that the economy performs and how the global markets handle money. Now, I know church folk especially get real nervous when you start talking about money. And it's so silly that they get real nervous and guarded and frightened and I can't think of the word that I'm looking for. Apprehensive when you mention the word money, yet all of them need money. Just about all of them. Okay. All of them need money. All of them want money. All of them desire money. But when you start talking about money, they get real apprehensive and they tighten up. Okay. But I'm telling you, you got to change your attitude about money if you're going to receive money. But that's a whole nother conversation that I'll have with the partners in the portal. But I want to tell you that the global economy and the global market, trade markets and global markets, trade unions and investments are going to see a dramatic shift, and that you're going to see the global market begin to climb, not just in the United States, although the United States market is a catalyst in many ways. But there are other overseas markets, especially in China, that have just as much an effect. But you're going to see almost a uniformity of the markets shifting upward, and to a degree where they're going to have to make some changes about how they go about interpreting the market. And many of the economic theories that have long been held as true and as absolute are going to be proven wrong in this year. Many of the economic theories that economists have used for years and considered to be an absolute are going to be proven obsolete because of the global shifting in the market. Okay? There's a shifting taking place in entertainment. You can already see it. Cat Williams kicked off the year and it blew up the internet. Oh my goodness. Like him or not, he blew up the internet. And then we see what is unfolding with other so-called celebrities like Diddy and the people that surround him and other people that are involved in all of that, and Tyler Perry and so many others, even religious celebrities like T.D. Jakes and others like that. This is not by accident or coincidence, and no, it's not the devil. For all my religious church folk, it's not the devil attacking this, that one, or the other one. It is because of a global shifting, a changing of the guard, a movement where entertainment and religion is concerned. And let me just go ahead and tie those two together because they almost are synonymous these days. Let me drink, hold on. I saw very clearly a splintering and a splitting taking place as a result of the dramatic shift that will take place in the religious mountain because of so many awakening and shifting away from traditional ideologies, and this mass exodus taking place from organized religion. And so there is a splintering and a split that is going to take place, and that is already beginning to happen as so many people globally are awakening and beginning to shift away, move away from many of the religious ideologies. And so the people who have been most influential in religious circles, their influence is going to drastically diminish in 2024. unless, of course, they decide to embrace this shift and they shift in their thinking, their teaching, and how they understand in their understanding of God. Now, the likelihood of that happening, some may not. Okay, most will not. But I also saw a splintering, a more dramatic splintering and rift between white evangelicalism and the black church. And there's always been some tension there. There's always been some level of division there, but there was a while there where everyone was talking about racial reconciliation and trying to come together. That has gone as far as it's going to go. There is going to be a rift, a splintering, a splitting, a division, a wedge between white evangelicals and the black church that is going to only increase as the year goes on. And to the point where it will almost seem like they are at war with each other. Okay, so there are two levels of this splintering taking place, two different levels where the people, society, humanity is awakening and becoming more enlightened, more evolved in their understanding of God and shifting away from the traditional ideologies and a mass exodus away from organized religion. And then this splintering between the evangelical white church and the black church. Okay, those two levels taking place. And when I talk about an awakening, I'm talking about people awakening across the globe and divorcing themselves from those religious ideologies, those traditional understandings, not just where Christianity is concerned, but in every major religion. In Buddhism, Hinduism, in Judaism, in Islam, as well as in Christianity, you will see people, many people awakening and evolving and recognizing that these old systems no longer serve them. Where media is concerned, traditional media is already in a decline, and it's going to decline even further as new, unconventional, traditional media begins to increase more and more as the information age facilitates more technology that is available, making it easier for others to invade that space and begin to offer information concerning global conditions and global events that are taking place that are more targeted towards specific audiences. And so traditional media's influence is going to decrease more and more. It is the reason why you see the major networks like ABC, CBS, NBC, as well as MSNBC and CNN and Fox going through so many dramatic shifts in their formats because they're trying desperately to hold on to the audience that they've had and to try, if possible, to garner more. But I'm here to tell you, watch what I'm saying to you, that they're going to continuously decline as new, unorthodox, non-traditional media increases in its strength and in its reach. It's also happening in government. There is going to be a reform that takes place, and I saw this very clearly, a drastic reformation in how the United Nations runs and its makeup. I see two other countries being given admission into the United Nations this year, and that the general makeup and how it runs, the general mode of operation is going to shift so as the power will be more equally shared among nations and not so top heavy to the larger countries that are involved. Watch what I'm saying. Where family and just society at large is concerned, relationships are concerned. Already relationships and families are being redefined. Our understanding and definition of family is being broadened and expanded to encompass families that don't look like the traditional idea of what family is. That I know that makes a lot of you who are religious very uncomfortable, but you may as well get comfortable with the uncomfortable, because that is going to continue and it's going to expand even further. And the things, and you will feel the temptation based upon the dogma of your particular religion to condemn the expansion of the definition of family and be like, oh, it's the devil trying to attack the family, and it's the devil doing this, that, and the other, and you'll want to rebuke it, and your pastors will preach against it, and they'll have whole conferences around it and everything else like that to try and denigrate it and declare that it's ungodly, that it is not holy, it's unacceptable. Doesn't change a thing. All it's going to do is create a lot of noise and distraction. It's not going to change a thing, because this is the Lord's doing. My God. And it's marvelous in our eyes. That's right. That's what I said. This is the Lord's doing. Contrary to popular belief, God is not against anyone. God is for us all. And if God be for us, nothing can be against us. Okay? God is for everybody. I know some of my Christians that are on here getting uncomfortable because you've been taught to believe that God somehow is just for you and against everybody else. It's not true. Excuse me. It's not true. God is for everyone. God is for everyone. Whether they are part of your religious organization or not, God is for everyone, in them, through them, as them. All of humanity is a divine expression of the all of everything. And so you're going to see that redefining of social norms, redefining what family is, redefining what is socially acceptable, understood, and embraced around the world, which is exactly as it should be. And then finally, in education, the reason that there has been such a vehement fight in various countries, including in America, to narrow the scope of education, because they understand that if you can get to the children's mind and begin to try and shape and mold how they think, then you can change how society runs. But I'm telling you that this effort is not going to work. And I know that here in the United States, it looks like they're winning. Banning books, banning teaching, banning the mention of Black history and other things of this sort. But they're not winning. Trust me when I tell you, you're going to see a number of these policies fall here in the United States this year. They are going to fall and fail this year. I'm telling you, and it doesn't matter what political party is in power. And this is a spiritual movement, not only in this country, but around the world, that is going to increase the boundaries of education. And traditional education is going to be turned on its head because of the kind of innovation in technology that is going to take place, that's going to create different methods and strategies and emphasis that are going to be provided to children around the world, children and adults, as well as on the college level, around the world where education is concerned. Let me say that again, that the educational system, the global educational system, is going to be turned on its head because of the innovation of technology that will give rise to new methods and strategies and emphases in education. That's what's going to happen, and it's going to happen rapidly throughout the course of this year and 2025, and will culminate in 2026. You will see the full culmination of it in 2026, but you're going to see a number of things begin to happen in 2024, whereas technology improves. And so the innovation in technology is going to give rise to new methods. Do you realize that in our education system, we've been using pretty much the same method since the emergence of public schools? That really was based upon preparing people to be factory workers. That you do realize our entire education system in the United States was centered around, founded upon the idea of creating more productive factory workers. That's the reason. That's the nucleus. That is the undergirding foundation. All the desks in a row, everybody staying on task, walking in a line to lunch, walking in a line to come back, all centered around creating factory workers who could stay on task and complete this work. And there's been a few tweaks in terms, but the basic structure has remained. That all shifts. Okay, and there are indicators all around the planet, there are indicators all around this country of what that new system will look like. There's some outpicturing of that with some of the schools, private schools now that have cropped up over the years. Okay. And so we're going to begin to take a more holistic approach toward education. Are you hearing me? Again, this is all because of Pluto moving into Aquarius and creating this type of global paradigm shift that we are experiencing and will experience further as we move through this year of extraordinary moments. You are going to see things happen in every one of the fields that I just mentioned that are extraordinary, that are dramatic. Are you hearing what I'm saying to you? Toya says here in the comments, I'm so happy to hear this because many teachers refuse to change even when a child has a better way to do it. They only want to do it a certain way to do it. That is absolutely true. But please understand that a lot of these teachers, their hands are tied. Their hands are tied by the system that says to them, you must do this, you must teach this, and you have to complete it within this period of time. And you have to use this particular method. So it's not, many times it's not the teachers, although some cases it is, but in many cases those teachers' hands are tied. And so they are tied into a system that places a demand on them that they follow a certain method and they follow a certain curriculum, and they can't vary from it at all. And then with the new standardized testings that they have put in place and tied teachers' salaries and advancement to it, they have forced teachers into a place where they are basically teaching to the test rather than teaching to educate. They're really not interested in, they can't be interested in educating the children. They have to make sure these kids are prepared to pass the test. Their livelihood depends on it. Their job depends on it. Their career depends on these kids passing a test. And so they put their energy and their effort into making sure that those kids pass the test. That's the reason why many of them won't even take the time to deal with different behavioral situations that arise, because they are so laser focused on teaching to the test, they can't have the distraction or the interruption of someone who's having an emotional issue. So they would rather put them in special ed so it doesn't count against them in the scores that will come out with the test, because they have to assume now this kid's not going to pass the test. Let me get them out of the class and we'll say something's wrong with them, whatever it is. You know, even though there might not be anything cognitively wrong, but it's just an emotional issue, they get put into a special ed class so that the teacher can remain focused on trying to teach these kids to pass the test. That sounds real cynical, but that is absolutely true. Okay? That is absolutely true. All right. So I want you to understand what is taking place around the globe. Now, what does this mean for you? Just as all of these mountains of influence are being shifted and moved as a result of this gathering energy, force, spirit, anointing that's happening in the atmosphere, the spirit world, the kingdom of God. You see how I keep using all these terminologies so that nobody gets thrown off, even though they're all synonymous. Don't get hung up on semantics. Okay. How does this affect you? Well, the same thing that's happening globally is also happening with you individually. Your economics are going to shift this year. Your finances are going to shift this year. And how they shift is completely up to you. There is an extraordinary opportunity for growth, for increase, for prosperity, if you follow specific strategies. But then there's the opportunity for extraordinary decline if you choose to continue to do what you've always done. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Okay. You will see a shift in what entertains you. Some of you are already experiencing it. Things that used to grab your attention before, that you would be tuned in for, that you would even TiVo and make sure that you don't miss an episode, you don't miss, one day of it coming on, that you turn off your phone when this particular show comes on. You're going to lose interest in those things because you're going to begin to vibrate at such a higher level of vibration and frequency that those things will no longer interest you. Doesn't make them bad, doesn't make them wrong, doesn't make them demonic or any other of the other nonsense. It just means that you will have outgrown them. And what entertains you in this new space is not the same as what entertained you before. We've already talked about the religious awakening as you are expanding your conscious understanding of God and all the concepts that have to do with God. You feel yourself pulling away from traditional religion in media. And I said this, and I've noticed that a number of people have said it as well. I started saying this back in, I think, 2019, as we were getting ready to go into 2020. Y'all remember when the pandemic came around, and I said to you who were with me during that time, that many of the churches that closed during the pandemic would not reopen. That church, as it has been known, that time of the brick and mortar church is quickly coming to an end. There will always be those, the Laodicean, the lukewarm, but this new generation of awakened individuals are moving away from organized religion and starting to come into the understanding of their divine self and the all of everything that is God, and understanding that in order to be able to have the kind of relationship, growing, thriving, evolving relationship with God that they desire, that they're going to have to begin to access platforms that are non-traditional. Many of you that are involved in this virtual community, you'll see more and more of them coming up as the year goes on. Others will, with smaller groups just meeting in homes. Those kinds of things happening, non-traditional teaching, non-traditional ideology. As people awaken, that is going to continue to increase throughout the course of this year and next year, right into the year 2026. And by the time the year 2026 rolls around, the old paradigm will almost be unrecognizable. Listen to what I'm telling you. It will almost be unrecognizable. That kind of dramatic shifting. How you govern yourself, how you see and perceive people is dramatically shifting. How you interact, because you are becoming more enlightened and evolved and expansive in your conscious, you're becoming more inclusive as well. And so people that before you may not have been willing to deal with, accept, talk to, or invite into your sphere of influence, now you are more open and welcoming and loving, and you find yourself now being able to connect with people who may not be from your cultural, environmental, religious background, but you understand that you are being fed and you will feed from everyone, that everyone has the capacity to give, to teach, to show, to instruct, and so do you. That no person that you encounter by accident. They come to give you a gift and to receive a gift from you. Let me say that again. No person that you encounter, no one, no matter their race, their culture, their creed, their ethnicity, their background, their religious belief, no matter their sexual orientation, no one you encounter is by accident or coincidence. They have come, they have arrived to bring you a gift and to receive a gift from you. I want you to marinate in that for a moment. Let that sink in. Or as Country Wayne says, let that sizzle in your spirit. I want you to let that just resonate in your mind. No one. They have arrived in your life to bring you a gift. It is up to you to discern the gift that they bring and to receive a gift from you, from your journey, your path, your evolutionary growth. Yes, Pluto moves into Aquarius January the 20th. September the 1st, it moves back into Aquarius, and it will remain there until November the 19th. That's good. Thank you, Theresa. There it is. Pluto moves into Aquarius on January the 20th through September the 1st, 2024. Then it moves back into Aquarius on November the 19th and will remain there until 2043. Okay? An entire generation. Whew. So, okay. Now, here are some things that I want to give you for this coming year that I want you to put in your notes, put in your conscious mind, and make them a part of your routine as you go into 2024. Okay, I got 7 things for you, and then we're done. Then we're done. Number 1, I want you in your time of mindful meditation to stop regretting past decisions. This is the time for you to release and let go, to forgive yourself. You made the choice that you made at the time you made it, and at the time you made it, most of you thought that it was the best choice that you could make at the time. Didn't work out or turn out the way you thought it would. The consequences of it were more detrimental than helpful. That's okay. You got to release yourself, forgive yourself, let it go so that you're able to move forward. I want you to really be intentional about being generous, munificent, be a habitual giver. Okay, it's going to serve you well. I want you to be an habitual giver during the course of this year. You really should be a habitual giver anyway, but definitely during the course of this year, be a habitual giver. Be hyper vigilant and very intentional about giving, not just of money, but also money is included. Okay, please don't exclude it, because understand you can only produce the seed determines what your harvest is going to be. You can only produce what you plant. The seed determines what your harvest is going to be. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Okay, cause and effect, compensation, circulation, increase, prosperity, all depend on the seed. And you can only produce a harvest that looks like the seed. So you cannot give money and get, a relationship. Okay, although it may seem like you can to some people. Okay, but no, money produces money. Okay, apple seeds produce apples. Orange seeds produce oranges. You understand what I'm saying? So what you sow, what is what you're going to reap. Be very intentional and habitual in your giving of your time, your talent, and your treasure. Of your time, your talent, and your treasure. Sow in every area that you want to experience increase in. I want you to also commit to reading. Increase your knowledge base. Start small with just trying to read 1 book a month. Okay? I'm not trying to, push you to read 30 books in a year. I'm just saying that one book a month will give you 12 books through the course of the year. Just start with one book, but increase your knowledge base. Now, those of you who can do more, do that. If you're a voracious reader like I am, then you can read, a book. You can read 2 books in a week, because, I'll have 2 books going at the same time. Okay. And if you can do that, do that. But read. I'm going to give a whole list of books that are good for you to read to the partners in the partner portal. If you want access to my book list, then you're going to have to become a partner with the Emerge movement. But I'm going to post it in the partner portal so that they're able to see it. I've got a whole list of books, probably about a good 40 books that you can choose from, that you can begin to peruse and read through the course of this year. I also want you to spend time with people. Some of you have become so insulated and isolated from the world and the people around you that you hardly ever encounter anyone else or socialize. I want you to really be intentional about building a community, a physical community that you are able to touch and handle and experience their energy, and start opening yourself to meet new people. Oh, that's scary. Only if you want it to be. I want you to really begin to spend time with people. This helps to increase now be particular, be discerning about the people that you invite into your space and that you are going into their space. Make sure that they're people of value and that you are bringing value to the circle that you're trying to be a part of. But we can draw from each other's energy, each other's insight, illumination, understanding, strengths, and we can assist each other with our weaknesses and our struggles. No one is an island. So I want you to really, I know for some of you this is a real challenge. It's a real challenge because you are so used to living an isolated life. And somebody convinced you that was the will of God, because you're so anointed, you can't have friends. That's nonsense. That's foolishness. Okay? That's foolishness. The anointing does not isolate you. The Spirit of God in your life, your gifting, your ability, your capacity does not isolate you unless you want to be isolated. That's some nonsense put forth by the church in order to make an excuse for them being by themselves, when the real problem is most of them so mean and nasty and controlling. That's why nobody wants to be around them. Ain't got nothing to do with their anointing. It's got to do with the fact that they just manipulative and controlling and narcissistic, and so folk don't want to deal with them. Okay? Lower your guard, open the door, and allow some people in. Okay? Stop living behind the wall. Come out, wherever you are. No more hide and seek. Come on out and interact and connect with people. Number 6, I want you once a week, write this down, make this pledge and promise to yourself. Once a week, do something for yourself. Once a week. Whatever that is, whatever engenders joy or feeds your adventurous side, or whatever that is, I want you to do something exclusively for not for your spouse, not for your children, not for your significant other, for yourself. Cut out some time to do something that is exclusively for you. Once a week. Now, if you got the time to do more, do that. But at least once a week, I want you to do something that is specifically, exclusively for you. To love on yourself, to care for yourself, to embrace your own uniqueness that engenders happiness and joy and laughter and fun and pleasure. Whatever that is, do something for yourself. And then finally, number 7, and I've said this before, but I'm going to say this again. I had to include it in this list. I need you to embrace journaling. Some of you just lazy. Oh my goodness, you don't want to journal, you don't want to write. And I know writing is almost a lost art. Especially with this new technology where you can make voice memos and voice recordings of everything. But I want you to literally buy a journal with paper. Pick up a pencil or a pen and begin to every day journal. Please understand that there is an esoteric power, a mystic force that is involved in your journaling, in writing. Okay? Journal your thoughts, journal your experiences, but also journal your dreams, journal your visions as you write it. There's a reason why in the scripture it says, write the vision and make it plain. There's a reason for that. There is some power. There's a mystic, esoteric magic in writing. Now, I'm going to get into more again within the Partners Portal. We'll talk about that as we talk about mysticism and magic. But just trust me that journaling is going to help you. It's going to give you a means to be able to look back through the year and chart the course of your progress and how you are moving forward and evolving, how far you've come, what you've accomplished, what you still need to work on. This is one of the things that journaling does, but it also grounds you in certain ideas, visions, dreams, and begins to increase the energy surrounding them, bringing them into manifestation. I said I wasn't going to talk too much more about that, but I'm going to leave that right there. I'm going to stop right there. So I want you to embrace journaling, okay? So stop regretting past decisions. Be intentionally generous. I want you to read one book a month, spend more time with people. Once a week, I want you to do something exclusively for yourself. Embrace journaling. And then finally, I said that was number 7, but that was actually number 6. Number 7 is, I want you to be hyper intentional about your life. I want you to be hyper intentional about your life. Be purposeful in every decision that you make and in every action that you take. Don't do anything just off the fly, off the cuff. Be very intentional, hyper intentional about your life. I want you to walk circumspectly. I want you to be hyper intentional and vigilant, purposeful about your life, about how you talk, how you think, what you do, everything. Be very mindful, intentional, purposeful, vigilant, circumspect about your life. Okay? So that's all 7. That's That's all 7. Okay. Ooh, Jacqueline Melton, I am so glad you are on here. I'm so glad that you're on here, so I didn't have to feel weird about coming in your inbox saying anything, because I know people have folk come in the inbox saying stuff and it's be like, oh, who is this, joker? So I can say it here on the platform so that you know that what I'm saying to you emanates from the Spirit of God, and it's not some kind of game, scam, or any kind of thing like that. You're still on here, right? If you are, say I'm still here. Jacqueline Melton, if you are, say in the comments, I'm still here. I've got something I want to release to you prophetically. Jacqueline Melton, if you're here, just type in the comments, I'm still here. Do it quickly, please. Well, I guess she must have gotten off. Now I'm gonna have to go in the inbox, which I loathe doing, because people think that you're trying to be freaky and funny and and slick, and I'm not. Oh goodness, because I gotta deliver this word to her. But okay. So that's it for today. Listen, hold on a second. Before you start getting off, before you start running away, it's time for you to give. And it's important that you give. I want you to be intentional about your giving. Do you know that money, how you use money and how you give money reflects what you value? How you spend your money reflects what you value and how much you value it. Nothing intrinsically has any value except the value that you give it. And the value that's given to it is dependent upon what people are willing to pay for it. That's just a simple fact. What makes Jordans valuable is not because they're made out of some special material that is not available to anybody else around the world. It's that Jordan created a market, of customers who were willing to pay a certain amount for the shoes. They saw it as valuable enough to pay an X amount of dollars for it. So the people determined the value by what they were willing to pay for it. Same thing is true for Chanel, for Gucci, for Louis Vuitton, for any of these other name brands. They're not made out of some special exclusive material that's only available to that particular designer or that particular person, entrepreneur. It's the people who set the value by what they are willing to pay for it. If the people decided that we're no longer willing to pay that price, then it will begin to lose its value and the price will come down. But as long as there are people willing to pay it, $3 million for a Bugatti, then Bugatti will continue to put out Bugattis because people are willing to pay $3 million for them. Okay? So the same is true when you give to this platform, to this work that we are doing here. You demonstrate how you value it. It's the reason that I've created the partner portal and the partnership end of this particular movement, because I'm not going to give away everything free. I understand the value of the information that I have. And so those who are willing to invest, those who are willing to pay for it, then will have access to it. Okay? and the things that, I can just give away freely here on this platform and for general public, then that's what I'll give away. Okay, but even in that, those of you who are here, don't be a bootlegger. You are watching and you're learning and you receive today. Then also contribute to the platform. Show how much you've been blessed and increased by what you've learned by sowing into this platform. So you can do so by using the methods that are on your screen. Go ahead and do that now. So whatever seed it is that you desire to do, let it reflect the value that you've placed upon the Emerge movement and the teaching that you received this morning. Let your gift, your seed, reflect the value of what you received today. So if you think it was only worth $1, then sow $1. If you think it was worth $1,000, sow $1,000. If you think it was worth $50,000, sow $50,000. If you think it was worth $20 or $200, so that whatever reflects how you value what you received today. And please understand that your relationship to me does not preclude you from sowing into the platform. Some of you are my friends, and we have a outside relationship beyond this virtual platform. And so you might think, well, we buddies, we friends. I can get this anytime. No, you can't. And you should sow as well. That doesn't stop you from showing the value of what you've received. So you can give. As a matter of fact, if you're my friend, you ought to be the first ones in line to give. You're my friends. You love me the way you say you do. Then you ought to be the first ones. Isn't it crazy how sometimes you're an entrepreneur and your friends are the last ones to buy from you? Everybody else buying, but not them. That makes you wonder about the friendship. Okay, so go ahead and do that now. Go ahead and do that right now before we go off the air. I want to invite you again to become a partner. Partnership has its privilege. Listen, we have an annual partner summit that we're going to do, began this year. I'm not going to go into it. I'm going to talk about that today in the Partners Portal tonight when we meet at 8:30, about what it's going to involve and what it's going to be and everything like that. We also offer you 6 a.m. virtual guided meditation every morning from 6 a.m. to 6:15 a.m. A weekly advanced empowerment session called Diving Deep, where we'll deal with some issues and teaching that is far beyond things that I would never teach on this public platform. I'll teach within that private forum, as well as regular prophetic insight and instruction. I'll prophesy to those of you who are there and minister to you and give you insight and instruction about things that are unfolding and happening in your life personally. You also get a 30% discount on all Emerge books, as well as merchandise, all the t-shirts, sweatshirts, and hoodies. You will get a custom Emerge t-shirt, absolutely free of charge to you. And you will also have free access, full access to the private Emerge Movement community page that some are already a part of right now, where I post different information that I will not put on my general pages or anything like that. Insights, information that will be exclusive to those who are there, and that they are not going to share with you either, because we already have as a rule, what happens in the portal stays in the portal. We don't discuss it outside the portal. Nobody has any idea of what we discuss and what information is given in that portal. So don't think that you're going to be able to call your mama, your cousin, your sister, your brother, and say to them, what did Miles put up in the portal? What does he say about this, that, and they're going to tell you to become a partner so you can find out. Because nobody's sharing anything. What happens in the portal stays in the portal. All you have to do is just request your partner information packet via the email address that you see on your screen right now, and I will send it out to you post haste, and it will have all of the things that you need in order to become a partner. It has have the vision, the mission statement, as well as the partner agreement included in there. So all you have to do is shoot me an email, like it says in the description, and say, I want in, and you're in. Okay? All right. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you so much, so much, so much, so much. Love each and every one of you. Have a splendiferous day, and let your day be filled with joy, gladness, family, food, and fun as you go throughout.